Doctor's Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital. Always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And now, Barbados. And Digicel. Cayman's bigger, better network. And March for Jesus. 18th of May. Visit christian.ky for more information.
We ask our listeners and viewers to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Live from Radio Cayman Studio.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the Record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
With Orrett Connor.
Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is For the Record.
For the Record. 1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett Connor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees so fair. Today is Wednesday, the 1st of May, 2024, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. We do hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable evening. Those of you who are on the roads of the Cayman Islands, again, we urge you to please, please, please be extremely cautious, whether you're a pedestrian, a cyclist, or operating any type of motorized vehicle. Ensure that you observe the rules of the road. The life you save may just be your own. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, or if you've celebrated one over the past few days, we want to wish you a happy birthday or a belated happy birthday, whichever is applicable. And to remind you that this segment of the For the Record birthday shoutouts brought to you by Coca-Cola, who are proud to support your birthday shoutouts. Coca-Cola is available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga wholesalers. You should accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. And by Superior Auto. Superior Auto, they keep your car in tune. Call them at 949-9570 or 525-9571. Those of you who have lost loved ones, again, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing as well. This morning, we want to, in particular, extend our sincere condolences to the family of the late Mr. Harrison Bothwell as well. Certainly, he was one who created some history in the Cayman Islands, to a certain extent in the area of aviation as well, and certainly served his country faithfully and well. Those of you who are ill and are either at home or at a medical facility here in the Cayman Islands or overseas, we wish you a speedy recovery. So, folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman and, by extension, For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles, as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and the management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I am your host, Orrett Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, our phone lines are open. Toll-free number 1-800-534-8255. Other numbers 949-8037, 949-6990, or WhatsApp number 925 3261. Follow us on YouTube by subscribing to Radio Cayman live stream as well. So first of all, let's look at the birthday shout-outs, and to remind you again that these birthday shout-outs would not be possible without the sponsorship of Coca-Cola, who are proud to support your birthday shout-outs. Coca-Cola available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga wholesalers. You should accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. And Superior Auto, they keep your car in tune. Call them at 949-9570 or 525-9571. Looking at the birthdays today, May 1st, Lindbergh Dilbert celebrating a birthday. Timothy Adam also celebrating a birthday, and Matthew Leslie celebrating a birthday. Tomorrow, Kathy Allman will be celebrating her birthday on the 2nd of May as well. So those are the birthday shout-outs that we have for today. If you know someone who's celebrating a birthday today or any other momentous occasion, please provide that information to us and we will give them a shout out right here on For the Record birthday shout outs as well. Okay, let's see what else we can share with you this morning. We see that the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service, they have continued with their recruitment drive, and this one is in particular for those of you over in Cayman Brac. And we have notification: Royal Cayman Islands Police Service recruitment drive open house at Ashton Ruddy Civic Center in Cayman Brac. It says, as part of the 2024 Royal Cayman Island Police Service's recruitment drive, the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service will be hosting a career open house at Ashton Ruddy Civic Center on Saturday, the 4th of May, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. So from 10 in the morning until 1 in the afternoon. This event, which will be attended by Commissioner of Police, Mr. Kurt Walton, will host a number of officers from various units and who will be able to speak with interested members of the community from the sister islands about policing in the Cayman Islands, as well as the recruitment process or benefits and requirements. The recruitment campaign will continue to the 14th of May, and anyone who is interested in becoming a member of our team is encouraged to attend and find out more. Royal Cayman Islands Police Service look forward to seeing you all on Saturday in Cayman Brac. If you want additional information, you can also visit their website as well. Now, so they're recruiting in the Brac, and I'm sure some of the questions that will be asked in terms of the recruitment, if I'm a Bracker and if I am recruited in the Brac, will I be able to then serve in the Brac as opposed to serving in Grand Cayman? And if not, what incentives are being offered to me for me to relocate to Grand Cayman if I am a Bracker? Because I have to pay rent and everything else, and rent in Grand Cayman ain't that cheap. It ain't so cheap. So will that be factored into my the offering, the remuneration or offering that will be put forward? Will it compare to let's say if you're recruiting someone from the United Kingdom or from other jurisdictions, will I, as a BRACA, be offered the same inducements as those as well? If I were a BRACA, those would be the questions that I would be asking. We already hear some people in the BRAC bemoan the fact that those officers who are posted in the BRAC sometimes do not necessarily meet with their approval based on their performance. So the question would be, is it better to have BRACers policing the BRAC as opposed to someone from Grand Cayman or from someone from another jurisdiction as well? Just saying, those are questions that I would ask if I were attending that what is it called again? Sorry, if that career open house on Saturday, the 4th of May, 2024. With that, we'll take a commercial break. If you have any comments on that, I'll welcome you. We have until 8 o'clock before we go to the news. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
Captain Charles Christopher Bush, 1864 to 1942. Captain Charles Christopher Bush was known to be one of the best turtle fishing pilots around the Nicaraguan coast, especially at man-of-war Keys. He was the owner of 2 vessels, the Goldfish and the Diamond, and part owner of the Express, as well as captain. He employed a lot of local seamen who all liked to work on his vessels because of his honesty. After the Diamond was lost in the 1932 hurricane, Captain Bush was always in demand by other vessel owners for his skills in catching turtle. He was in partnership with J.S. Webster and in charge of what is known today as the Webster's Estate and Smith Barcadere, Smith Cove, for more than 25 years. Colleagues urged him to acquire it by quiet possession, but he refused to do so. Just before his death, he notified Mr. Webster that he wanted to give it back, and he did. Captain Bush was married to Annie Elizabeth Nee Radon and the father of 10 children.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Rotary District Governor David Cacaldi, First Lady Christina, the Rotary community of the Cayman Islands, the people of the Cayman Islands welcome Rotary District Conference 2024 attendees to the Cayman Islands. 14 countries, over 10 islands, over the Northwest Caribbean, an intersection of service above self. Rotary District 7020. The fellowship, the innovation, the service to community, to the region, to the world. Welcome District Conference Cayman 2024. Rotary, create hope in the world.
Did you know that you can send money transfers to financial institutions anywhere in Jamaica with JN Money?
You mean I can send money straight to my account and cut out the middleman?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. You send your own money to your own account, giving you peace of mind that the money is in your account.
JN Money Transfers to Financial Institution is another convenient service offered by JN Money. You can have this done from any JN Money location. Deposit your money straight to your account without the hassle of asking someone to do it for you. JN Money Transfers to Financial Institutions, making life easier.
Since March 2004, West Bay Pharmacy has kept their doors open to the local communities, even before, during, and after Hurricane Ivan. At West Bay Pharmacy, our staff provides so much more than pharmaceutical excellence. From the moment you walk through our doors to completing your cash out, our staff will have put your healthcare concerns at ease. We would like to take this moment to thank our loyal friends and customers. To us at West Bay Pharmacy, our patients are our primary concern. We provide thorough background checks and precise calculations to ensure your medical safety. Thank you for being a part of our family and for choosing West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget, our Custom Closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
This Mother's Day, Digicel wants to take you to brunch. We're giving away brunch vouchers for you and mom to enjoy a delightful feast together. Winning is easy. Simply activate the postpaid Supreme plan or the 30-day Prime Max plan, and you could be our lucky winner. Don't let the chance to treat mom to a special day out slip away. Visit your nearest Digicel store today or hop onto the My Digicel app for your shot at winning. Make this Mother's Day a memorable one with Digicel.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
This is Ronnie Anglin. I work in the water sports industry. I'm concerned that our islands are at a high risk of coral bleaching and coral disease outbreaks. Rising sea levels, sea temperatures, and ocean acidification have caused catastrophic increases in the number and severity of coral bleaching events, disease, and death. Snorkeling and diving may one day not be an option. To learn more about climate risk to our islands, visit www.gov.ky/climate change policy.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We have about 8 minutes before we go to the news. Any callers on hold, Miss Susan? No, one caller. Let's grab the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Fine, sir. We still got to get a rematch on our domino table.
Oh, yes. Well, first of all, we have to find someplace permanent to hook up again, of course, with the road going through there, that sort of like, ruin our little spot down there. For real.
Yeah. I believe you beat me last time, right? I believe so. You'd have been, Yes, sir. Speaking about roads.
Okay.
All right. You know our road, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the NRA came down here and scraped it off, right?
Okay.
And getting ready to pave it.
Mm-hmm.
So my cousin, my aunt, in one apartment holder down the end there, down the end of my road, sent an email to NRA and got them to stop the road. So it's almost 2 weeks now that the road has been like completely full of dust everywhere. And we called them and asked them why it stopped. And we got told that my cousin sending emails non-stop to stop the road from getting paved.
Mm.
Now he grew up down in here, so I would want to know, OC, why you would try to stop that, and the road not been paved in 30 years.
So
30 years.
And the majority of the residents on that road, they want it to be paved?
Yes, sir. It's just this guy at the end of the road with apartments, is that he won't lick down the wall, which is the road is named after,
mm-hmm.
so that he can have easy access, because he don't have access to them from the main road.
Oh, okay.
They even said, like, he came to them and talked to them, like, you gonna knock down the wall or not? And they were like, no, we can't touch the wall. So after that, now we see them stop. And it's nothing to the NRA, it's just that we can't figure out how one little email from, not the majority,
Mm-hmm.
can stop the road from getting paved. If the potholes on the road, you can't avoid them.
Mm-hmm.
For 30 years.
So you have collectively now contacted the NRA to say to let them know that you have a different position in terms of what should be done?
Yes, sir.
And,
yes, sir.
Well, the least, my view is that the least that they could do is at least reestablish the road to its original condition before they started doing the work. If they don't want to continue, at least put it back to the way that it was.
At least.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not. And we did call them, and they said that they're coming now again next week.
Okay.
But they said that the week before that, and they're supposed to come this week. No, they're not coming this week. So that's why I have to make sure I call now that they better come next week, because I can't see how one cousin or one little person, he don't even live down the road,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
can get the road stopped from getting repaved.
Okay. So they have promised that they will come. Maybe the holiday weekend will give them a little bit more flexibility in terms of work and stuff. Next week, the holidays during that week may give them a little bit more flexibility. As you know, they spread pretty thin in terms of what they're doing. Now, was this the NRA themselves or a subcontractor of the NRA?
NRA, they were wearing the uniforms and everything.
Okay.
And they said that it was just going to take 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
2 days, and then now after they said that they wasn't knocking on the wall, like I said, somehow this emails comes out that try to stop. Why is government paving a private road? And I don't know how it's really that private.
Mm-hmm.
It's private down to the end, I think, and then that's it. But to the front, it's all legit.
Yeah, I think that this determination of whether or not a road is private or public has to do with whether it has been publicly gazetted. But we have seen the government trying to assist those areas where originally they were private roads because a developer had developed the area, but once all of the lots had been owned by someone else, then the developer had no more interest in it, and as a result, it was left then to the residents to maintain the roads. And some residents may find themselves not in a position to be able to do that. So we're fortunate that in those instances that the government and as well as your local representatives usually will push, for those roads to be repaired, despite the fact that they may not have been gazetted as public roads.
Right. And yes, I understand that. I understand that it's, kind of tricky with that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But I also can see, like, another resident at the end of the road, she applied for her end just to top it off and put a drain. She got the drain, and then they couldn't top it off because it got stopped again by the same cousin.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I understand the NRA. I have no problem with them taking their time and doing what they have to do,
Mm-hmm.
But the message was like they're not coming back.
Okay.
That was what they said firstly before we started calling them and telling them.
But that has been clarified now. Now, one more question before you go.
Yes,
the wall that you're talking about, who that belongs to whom?
All right, like the first 3 houses in the road,
Mm-hmm.
they own to the back of the wall, meaning that they own that section of the wall.
Mm-hmm.
All right. When they go across the third houses, they own to the front of the wall.
Ah. Different setbacks.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
And then the apartment builder, like I say, they don't want a wall down. They don't want a wall here because they got the tenants or whatever, and they be flying, speeding across here.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They want to be able to go, freely, no, like you got kind of squeeze with each other. It's an old time road.
Okay.
Right? Now that little road that brings so much peace in, like little bit of community. Almost everybody know each other down in this road.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We mingle with each other, but not them. They off on their own little puddle. So I just say, like, please, not to the NRA, but to my cousin and them, they're like, please stop being this stupid and stop thinking about, because I know why it is, and because if they pave the road, their land down the end going to get more flooded out, and they're not be able to sell the land. I know that way it is, you see. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, they can't fool me in OC. You know that already. You know where we come from already, right? We good at reading cards, right?
Yep.
Have a good day, Mr. OC.
You do as well, and I hope everything is resolved amicably there as well.
Yes, sir.
Okay, folks, top of the hour, 8 o'clock news. When we return, we will have guests in the studio. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller.
We should not rely on the UK alone.
The Progressives' opposition is urging government to prioritize crime prevention after the announcement that the United Kingdom government has pledged $1 million to Cayman to improve radar surveillance as part of a package of measures to disrupt gun and drug trafficking. Leader of the opposition, the Honourable Roy McTaggart.
So we thank the Governor and the UK government for this much-needed financial support. A year ago, at the May 2023 Joint Ministerial Council meeting in London, the UK committed to providing over £10 million to support overseas territories' law enforcement and border security, capability and capacity building.
He adds there is a, quote, urgent need for government to prioritize crime prevention and do what's needed to better equip law enforcement with the, quote, necessary resources to intercept illegal firearms, drugs, and individuals attempting unauthorized entry into Cayman shores. And speaking of crime, serious and organized crime in Cayman is up, according to recently released crime and traffic statistics from the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service. The report says in 2023, RCIPS executed over 80 warrants related to drugs, firearms, and gambling, and arrested some 55 people for robbery, importation of ganja cocaine, possessing illegal firearms, along with possession of drugs with intent to supply. This also included illegal landing and attempted murder. The full report is available at rcips.ky. And in other news, the mental health helpline Cayman extends its service hours. Radio Cayman's Felicia Rankine reports.
Starting today, May 1st, Cayman's helpline will be available from 6 p.m. till 11 p.m. Monday through Friday. Cayman states the decision to revise their service hours was driven by their ongoing commitment to providing accessible and timely support to individuals facing mental health struggles. Knowing that mental health concerns can arise at any time, it is essential to help during the evening hours when many people may need it the most and professional mental health providers closed. The extended hours are the only changes. Cayman ensures you can expect the same trained and compassionate staff and confidentiality unless there is an immediate danger to yourself or others in the community. The helpline's number is 1-800-534-6464. I'm Felicia Rankine-Solins.
Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which takes us out of the newscast. I'm Carsley Fuller.
BBC News with Julie Candler. Rival protesters have clashed at the UCLA campus in Los Angeles in what the university's vice-chancellor called horrific acts of violence. Footage shows a group supporting Israel attacking pro-Palestinian demonstrators with sticks and trying to dismantle barricades around their encampment. America's top diplomat Antony Blinken has met Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Jerusalem on the last day of his Middle East tour. Mr. Blinken says he's determined to get a deal to secure the release of hostages, and the only obstacle is Hamas. A BBC reporter who's gained rare access to southern Lebanon has described scenes of utter destruction since the war in Gaza began. Israel has been accused of deliberately targeting civilians, a charge the Israelis deny. Police in Istanbul have fired tear gas and rubber bullets in an effort to stop people holding a May Day rally. Clashes have broken out at central Taksim Square, which has been blocked off. Turkey's president has warned against what he called provocation. 2 people have been killed in the Kharkiv region of Ukraine after being hit by a Russian-guided bomb. Russian missiles earlier struck the port city of Odessa. Tax regulators in Pakistan have ordered mobile phone companies to block the SIM cards of more than 500,000 people who haven't filed their tax returns. Pakistan, which is facing an economic crisis, has been trying to boost tax revenue. Official taxis in the Serbian capital Belgrade will have to be white from today. The city's mayor says the rule will bring in what he calls European standards. The Asante people of southern Ghana will be able to see more than 30 looted artefacts today for the first time in 150 years. The mostly ornaments were seized by British forces in the 19th century. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Boddentown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin, or the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Boddentown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
In a world where physical health often takes the spotlight, let's not forget about our mental well-being. Mental health affects how we think, feel, and act in our daily lives. Taking care of our mental health means recognizing when we need help, seeking support from loved ones or professionals, and practicing self-care techniques like mindfulness and relaxation. Remember, it's okay to not be okay sometimes. Let's break the stigma and prioritize mental health for a happier and healthier life. Your mind matters. This message is brought to you by the Lions Club of Grand Cayman, serving the Cayman Islands for over 50 years.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the People's Station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands, world-class healthcare within your reach.
The 8 a.m. weather report brought to you by CG Britcay, where people come first.
Top of the morning to you, and let's take a look at the very latest weather report. Current temperature is 82 degrees, relative humidity is 78%. The barometric pressure 29.88 inches and rising. The wind is out of the east-northeast at 7 knots. Overnight low temperature was 80 degrees. Synopsis indicate light northeasterly winds and slight to moderate seas are expected across the Cayman area for the next 24 hours in association with a weak high-pressure system over the western Atlantic Ocean. Satellite images show scattered low-level clouds over the Cayman area. Now, the forecast for the Cayman Islands for today, calling for partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of showers. Expect your temperatures in the mid-80s today. Your winds will be east to northeast at 5 to 10 knots, and seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. Pretty much the same for tonight, partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers, and temperatures dropping to the upper 70s tonight. Your winds will be east to northeast at 5 to 10 knots for tonight, and seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. Today's low tide will be this morning at 10:57, high tide again this afternoon at 4:28, and a low tide again tonight at 10:34. The sun will set this evening at 6:47 and will rise tomorrow morning at 5:57. And the outlook is calling for similar weather conditions through Friday evening. And that's the very latest on your weather report.
We were set to battle, and your Aunt Angie was leading the pack when...
Aunt Angie, what does this have to do with car damage?
Oh, right. Well, long story long. I took down the assassins and wound up inventing a new form of mixed martial arts. I became an international champion until one sore loser karate kicked my car. But I was covered with CG.
Covered for malicious damage and more. CG Brit K. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
The 8 a.m. weather report brought to you by CG Brit K, where people come first.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Good morning. Let's take a look at traffic. Traffic is steady heading east or heading west to Georgetown on Crew Road, and coming from the east on Shamrock Road and Rex Creighton Boulevard. Traffic is moderate in both directions. Steady but flowing traffic on the lane for Pearson Highway. Please drive with extra caution where road work is taking place. As we look to Edward Street, traffic is moving on moderately there. Coming from the West Bay 4-way stop, moderate flow of traffic, and traffic flowing steady and coming off of the Esterly Tibbetts Highway, and moderate flow of traffic in both directions on the West Bay Road in front of the Ritz. If you've seen accidents, please give us a call here at Radio Cayman 949-6990. And steady traffic on Huldah Avenue. Slow moving traffic heading to Georgetown on Walkers Road. And join us again at about 10 minutes past 12. We'll give you another look at traffic. Have a good morning and click it or ticket.
From boat days to beach gatherings, leave the catering to Subway. Choose from small and large sandwich platters, double meat wrap platters, and top it off with optional cookie platters for dessert. Or ask about our Subway box to go with the option of 6-inch or foot-long sandwich, 1 cookie, and 1 bag of chips for all occasions and celebrations. Let Subway focus on the food so you can focus on the fun. Visit subway.ky for catering options. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
You know who this is? That same old girl that went to Hollywood and Panama? Well, guess what? The fun ain't done yet, because this year, I'm going to country concerts in Denver. I got kick up my heels in Times Square, and I got find my way to Barbados. I got keep living the dream with Cayman Airways. We so blessed to have them. I tell you what though, this old girl's feeling younger than ever.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering international non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, Kingston, Mobay, La Ceiba, and Havana, plus Barbados. Enjoy free rum punch, free in-flight entertainment, free seat selection, and free meals on select flights. Call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Hey Cayman, this is Pastor Alsony Banks. I want to invite you to come out and join us on Saturday, May 18th, 2024 for March for Jesus. I remember those events from years past, and I'm so happy we're doing them again. So join us on Saturday, May 18th, March for Jesus, celebrating our Lord Jesus Christ.
For more information, visit Christian.ky and click on the March for Jesus tab.
Do you have a chronic illness? Are you a parent or guardian of a child with special health needs? Can you access healthcare services easily? We want to hear from you. From May 1st to May 31st, the Ministry of Health and Wellness will be undertaking a public consultation to help inform Cayman's new national health strategy. Tell us about your experiences with healthcare across all 3 islands by emailing mohfeedback@gov.ky or by logging on to gov.ky/health-wellness and complete the survey.
Let me tell you something. I've been fishing our island since I was a boy, and it's getting harder and harder to get a good catch. Maybe it's because there are so many more people in Cayman than ever before. Maybe it's because of how the climate is changing. I don't know about that, but I do know that I want to be able to keep fishing and teach my children to fish one day as well. So it makes sense to me that we have certain areas and certain times of the year to fish for certain things. It feels unfair not to be allowed to fish where my dad had taught me to fish, but I know that being patient now means we can keep fishing for many more generations. We're all in this together, right?
For more info, download the Cayman DOE app or visit doe.ky.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We will be talking about the Emancipation Day events that will be taking place this month as well. We will be talking with the chair of Celebrate Cayman, Mr. Alphonso Wright. We also expect to have Miss Ventisha Connolly in the studio with us. Meanwhile, we have a few birthday shout-outs that we want to share. My successor, Cabinet Secretary Mr. Samuel Rose, celebrating his birthday today, so we want to wish him, a happy birthday as well. Surprised that Lord Graham didn't call in to wish him, a happy birthday. He's a part of that group as well, so we want to say happy birthday greetings to Cabinet Secretary Mr. Samuel Rose. Also, birthday greetings are going out to Mr. Mike Borman. I mentioned Mr. Timothy Adam earlier. Philip Clark also celebrating his birthday today. And birthday greetings are coming from Mr. Henry R. Solomon, wishing them happy birthday, and says, may God grant each one a blessed birthday, and may they enjoy as many more that he has ordained for them as well. So happy birthday to Mr. Samuel Rose, Mike Bowerman, Timothy Adam, and Philip Clark as well. Mr. Fonzo, we can start to talk about the events if you want.
Sure. Well, I can talk about some of the stuff surrounding Emancipation Day and the historical
purpose
side of it. The details of the celebrations starting on Friday, I will leave to Ms. Ventisha Connolly and whoever else comes in with her. But yes, I'm happy to be here in support. It is not a Celebrate Cayman event, so to speak, but we are all one government. So we assist one another. We do what we can. And maybe I can start Orrett talking about Emancipation Day and how we come to May instead of August and so on.
Yes.
Which I think is a little confusing for some people, but I do encourage people to do their own research. There's a tremendous amount of information that is out there on the internet. Google stuff, do your own research. Anybody who requires anything that they can't find, if I have it, we're always willing to share it. It's not my information, I didn't create it. If I have access to it, so do you.
And you have lots of it as well. And you've done lots of research.
I do. I actually enjoy doing research, and if I go a day or a week without learning something new, I believe that I hadn't been very productive that week. Some of the thing I try to pick up. Now, the Emancipation Order in 1834 called for the abolition of slavery in the entire West Indies, Caribbean area, and for the most part, that was the directions that was sent down from England, and August 1st would have been that slavery would have been abolished from the day before. So August 1st would be the first day of freedom for slaves. Now, this also mandated that they introduce a apprenticeship program that would last for 6 years. And this would be to assist the slave owners who would be losing what they considered this vast investment and was a big part of their wealth at the time, so that they could work their way out of that and get themselves in other industries and so on and regularize labor. However, my apologies. However, that didn't happen in the Cayman Islands in August of 1834. There were issues with registration of the slaves that were in the Cayman Islands. It was just over 900. We had an issue, and I don't somehow think that it was intentional on the slave owners in the Cayman Islands. I think there was some anomaly with us being governed through Jamaica, and that we could not be a part of the Jamaica list, but we didn't have our own identity, so to speak. So the Cayman slaves were not registered, and therefore the slave owners in the Cayman Islands continued as per usual, even after August 1st, when all the other countries had put their apprenticeship program in place. This continued until the next year, 1835, when after continuous representation, the United Kingdom sent Lord Sligo, who was then the governor in Jamaica, to visit the Cayman Islands and make a proclamation that the slave movement in the Cayman Islands should cease immediately. He arrived here on a ship called the Serpent, I think it was, on the 2nd of May, 1835, and invited the slave owners and some others onto the ship to speak to them about what he had come to do. Mm-hmm. And there was at least one remark where a slave owner said, my God, I came on the ship a wealthy man, and I leave here a poor man. And that proclamation was read in Georgetown on the 3rd day of May, declaring that all slaves in the Cayman Islands were free as of that day, and that the Cayman Islands would no longer participate in the apprenticeship program. So while the history shows that the rest of the Caribbean, the entire Caribbean, was given freedom from slavery on August 1st, 1834, it really did not happen in the Cayman Islands. So we find ourselves in a very unique position where we find it necessary to distinguish that we did not celebrate as the other Caribbean countries did in August of 1834. Mm-hmm. And therefore our story has to be told in how things transpired, and that we did not receive the abolition of slavery until May 3rd, 1835.
So rather than celebrating what was more a global thing, our concentration is when it actually occurred.
Well, up until 1961, the Emancipation Day was celebrated throughout the Caribbean on August 1st, and there were celebrations. It used to be celebrated here in the Cayman Islands as well. But we have to remember that we were still under we're still being governed through Jamaica, and that these laws were passed down. So while Jamaica and the other Caribbean countries were celebrating Emancipation Day on August 1st, I would say that we were obliged to do the same thing. Now, incidentally, in 1962, we know that Jamaica took independence in 1862. And they, 1962. Mm-hmm. My apologies. And they discontinued the celebration of Emancipation Day. And we, in turn, there's records here of notes from the desk of the administrator, Mr. Jack Rose, at the time. And here's a note dated the 12th of May, 1961. And this says the Public Holidays Amendment Bill 1961. In order that the 4th of July should be observed as a public holiday to commemorate the day on which the island's new constitution came into effect, the attached draft bill has been prepared. The 1st of August, hitherto observed as a public holiday, has been removed from the schedule of holidays. Right? But make note that all it says here is a public holiday. It didn't say Emancipation Day.
Right, yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So I'm not sure how they viewed this particular day here at the time, but I think I would be hard pressed to not somehow connect the fact that Jamaica were going through their independent discussions at the time. We knew that was going to be happening, and Jamaica decided that they were going to drop Emancipation Day. That somehow we didn't get caught up in all of that as well, and decided that we were going to go that direction as well. So here we are now in 2024,
62 years.
62 years later, reintroducing Emancipation Day, but in May instead of August. Now, while this, what I just read to you there, it was moved through the Legislative Assembly in all of the phases, and on 19th of May, 1961. I'll just read the last section of the Public Holidays Amendment Bill, and it said on the opposed motion of Honorable E.O. Panton, seconded by Mr. D.V. Watler, standing orders were suspended for the bill to be given a third reading. The bill passed. We have no record of the discussion that took place. I don't know if that's out there as to why they were discontinued. I hope something that we can find.
That was
1961.
We should have Hansards for that, I would imagine. When you go on the LA's website, though, I think it starts somewhere more in the 70s.
Yeah, it is in the 70s, yeah. But we have been searching, and I know the archives have been, and hopefully at some point we can uncover that and see exactly what the thought process were at the time. But here we are now with government, and rightly so, picking this back up, and OC getting us back in a position where we understand where we're coming from. You don't know where you're going unless you understand your past.
Yep.
And while slavery was not something to be celebrated, it is something to be remembered and recorded as part of our history. It happened. And I know that there are some people who are not too happy about reintroducing Emancipation Day, but Orrett, these are some of the foundations on which the Cayman Islands were built. Many of the West Indian and the Caribbean countries, and this is a part of our past that I think has made us stronger. It's a foundational development for me as to where we have come from. Imagine if slavery was still ongoing today. Imagine what has happened to us since slavery was abolished in 1834, 1835, and how the Cayman Islands have progressed. So there is a direct connection to the abolishment of slavery, the freedom given to our people, and how we have developed as a nation.
Yeah, and the subsequent migration and everything else that took place as a result of that.
Absolutely. So it can't be forgotten or put under the rug. We have to get to the end of this somehow. And the only way to do that is to go right through it, to have it properly recorded, do the things that we're doing now, so we commemorate the fact that we did receive our freedom, and it is something that all Caymanians should celebrate.
Yep. So before we go to the commercial break, we want to say good morning and welcome to For the Record to Ms. Ventisha Connolly. Good morning. Welcome. A few opening remarks from you.
Good morning, Mr. Connor. Good morning to the Cayman Islands. Great day to everyone. Thanks for having us on. And I look forward to speaking more on the celebrations that we have forthcoming. And I know we will be joined by the Honourable Minister shortly here.
Yes.
So look forward to further discussion after the break.
Certainly. Folks, don't change that dial. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
You know who this is? That same old girl that went to Hollywood and Panama? Well, guess what? The fun ain't done yet. Because this year, I'm going to country concerts in Denver. I got kick up my heels in Times Square. And I got find my way to Barbados. I got keep living the dream with Cayman Airways. We so blessed to have them. I tell you what though, this old girl's feeling younger than ever.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering international non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, Kingston, Mobay, La Ceiba, and Havana, plus Barbados. Enjoy free rum punch, free in-flight entertainment, free seat selection, and free meals on select flights. Call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Do you have a chronic illness? Are you a parent or guardian of a child with special health needs? Can you access healthcare services easily? We want to hear from you. From May 1st to May 31st, the Ministry of Health and Wellness will be undertaking a public consultation to help inform Cayman's new National Health Strategy. Tell us about your experiences with healthcare across all 3 islands by emailing mohfeedback@gov.ky or by logging on to gov.ky/health-wellness and complete the survey.
Rotary District Governor David Cacaldi, First Lady Christina, the Rotary community of the Cayman Islands, the people of the Cayman Islands welcome Rotary District Conference 2024 attendees to the Cayman Islands. 14 countries, over 10 islands, over the Northwest Caribbean, an intersection of service above self. Rotary District 7020. The fellowship, the innovation, the service to community, to the region, to the world. Welcome District Conference Cayman 2024. Rotary, create hope in the world.
If you're a parent, you know that providing your child with a quality early childhood education can be expensive. However, the Ministry of Education offers financial assistance through its Early Childhood Assistance Program to help qualifying Caymanian families cover the costs at registered early childhood settings. Visit our online application portal at moeapplications.gov.ky to learn more and get started. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Education.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. My pleasure to have in the studio with me Mr. Alphonso Wright from Celebrate Cayman and Miss Ventisha Connolly, who's the events manager in the ministry, and we will be joined later on by the Honorable Isaac Rankine as well in the studio, so we're looking forward to that. I'm going to pass the mic over to Miss Ventisha because she has lots of exciting things to tell us as well. Miss Ventisha.
Good morning. Thank you, OC. So, as picking up on where Alphonso kind of finished off, this time for emancipation, the reinstatement of emancipation for us, we're looking at it as a celebration. It's not a celebration of slavery, but a celebration of the freedom from that. Mm-hmm. And so we thought it was only fitting to have celebrations throughout the islands. I mean, the books will tell us that the proclamation was read here and it was read in Little Cayman. Am I right, Fonzo? Mm-hmm. But it didn't, the boat was not able to actually reach the shore of Cayman Brac. Oh. But it's still fitting because we all today benefit from that freedom. So under the theme of Year of the Return, fitting the 62-year return of our Emancipation Day holiday. And this is intended to be an annual event moving forward with new themes each year. So we are going to celebrate this year starting on Friday, May the 3rd with our 3-4-5 day. Proud to be a Caymanian. Show that pride in this country that you call home, in the roots that some of us have for generations back. So on that, we are selling in the government building today and throughout the week paraphernalia for 3-4-5 day. We have a shirt that says #Caymanian Proud, which is the ministry's catchphrase we coined about two and a half years ago, because we felt, that we had to give persons that little part of us to always put out there, showing your pride. And then we also have shirts with the Emancipation Day logo on it. And I have to give kudos to a young Caymanian graphic designer, Brian Watler Jr., for the concept and the design of that logo, tying together all the elements of emancipation in the Cayman Islands, the colors, the blue, red, green, orange, and it encompasses the slave wall, drums, which are, celebratory and gave actually communication throughout the islands. And of course, everything we put out there always has some tie to the fact that we are 3 islands but 1 people. So in that design, there's 3 people standing, dancing in the drum. Again, 3 islands, 1 people. So yes, young Brian Watler, we said, go and give us you have an idea of what we want to celebrate, bring us back something, and he ran with it. And it encompassed, and it showed exactly what, steeps us as Caymanians with our history. Yeah.
So that and that's the shirt.
Yes, the logo is on the shirt. So we have shirts, we have water bottles, we have tote bags, hats, umbrellas, different paraphernalia that you can purchase.
And while we're on that topic, can you repeat again when, where they will be available? What form of payment can be made as well while we're on that?
Sure. So we're in the government building in the staff entrance. They're available from 10 to 5 each day of the week here, leading up to Friday. We take cash only, so please do come with cash. But yes, we have the shirts are on sale, $15 for adults, $10 for children. Polos, we have a limited stock of polos on sale for $25. Tote bags are $10, and everything else is $20. So come on over, see us, get your stuff.
And you can pay by cash?
Yes, pay by cash.
Okay.
Then we have our celebration gala on Saturday the 4th at Pedro St. James. Unfortunately, it's invite only. We have a limited amount of persons that can hold there. But we will be streaming the gala so that persons can view it on CIG TV. And at that gala, we will be relighting the Jubilee Beacon because it is a symbol of freedom for us, both here in Grand Cayman and in Cayman Brac on Saturday night. So please tune in to CIG TV to watch that. And then Sunday, we will be having our opening church service over at Emsley Memorial Church at 4 p.m. on Sunday afternoon.
Okay.
And then Monday, the big holiday. I was looking forward to the holiday. But we will be having Hogstye Bay Day, our Emancipation Heritage Day celebration in Georgetown. All of the districts will be in Georgetown celebrating the holiday. We will have local food on sale, crafts for the kids, cotton candy, snow cone, of course, for the kids. Well, I'm a kid at heart, so I'll be I'll be getting a little bit of snow cones. Entertainment on the stage. We have local bands. We have local dance companies. Swanky will be on the stage. There'll be demonstrations and displays from each district along Seafarers Way. So Seafarers Way is going to be a hub of activity. And then between 2 and 5 o'clock, we will be having the water celebrations, I call it. So encompassing the Hogstye Bay Day that was done a few years ago, we are keeping that tradition alive, having the Hogstye Bay available for people to go jump off the dock, do a little swimming. The Catboat Club will be joining us and giving catboat rides out there. Great. So we want to still remember that, water ties us. It's a big part of our heritage, seafaring history, that water ties us. So we want to make sure that we still celebrate Hogstye Bay Day in that element. And
that starts what time?
That starts at 1 o'clock on Monday, and we go till 8 o'clock. So at about 8 o'clock, maybe about 7:55, maybe a little more than that, we will be having a drone show over the harbor, over Hogstye Bay Day. 600 drones telling a little bit of Caymanian history, lighting up the sky.
Wow. That sounds exciting.
So very excited about that. So we invite everyone. It is open to everyone, all ages. On Monday, May the 6th, come out to Hogstye Bay Day, the Heritage Day in town. Join us. Have some fun. There's going to be, and I keep talking about this because Alphonso has said he go get out and play some marbles. Did you play marbles?
Oh, yes. I played marbles, gotten lots of fights over marbles as well.
No, Alphonso, you didn't talk about fights over marbles.
Well, I couldn't tell you everything one time. Fights. There were rivalries in communities over marbles.
Oh, yes.
Lord have mercy. I mean, you talked about a young lady who used to whoop you all the time.
Yeah. Well, more to come.
So yes, there is going to be entertainment for young and old. The Georgetown Committee, along with Minister Brian, is helping us to host the Hogstye Bay Day. And so we give kudos to them and thanks for joining this initiative, because I have to say, it's not just a Ministry of Youth, Sports and Heritage initiative. It is a government initiative. So, and hence why we're working with Alphonso and Christy in Celebrate Cayman unit. We're working with the Ministry of Tourism. We're working with the Ministry of Culture. It's a cross collaboration, because this is just not a Ministry of Youth, Sports and Heritage. It's a country event. So that's Monday. I'm looking forward to Monday, even though I'll probably be really tired, but fun is a part of being tired. And then on Tuesday, May the 7th, we'll be down at Governor's Beach at 9-10 o'clock to release our 62-pound commemorative turtle, courtesy of Cayman Turtle Center.
And there's no accident. It's 62 pounds, right?
Yeah, exactly. 62. That number of 62 is going to ring loud throughout the celebrations. So yeah, we wanted to release 62 turtles. And when they came back and said, well, it's really early in the breeding season, so we really can't guarantee 62 turtles. But let's think about it. We've got a 62-pounder. Let's do that. No problem. So we've joined collaborating with the Cayman Turtle Center to release a 62-pound turtle on Tuesday from Governor's Beach. And then on Wednesday, we will be rolling into Bodden Town to a part of the slave wall that's still standing there, courtesy of a fantastic transplant to our community, Miss Dipna Carton, who has a huge part of that slave wall in her backyard. And takes pride in the fact that even though she's migrated from Ireland to here, some of the significant pieces that she celebrated there, we celebrate here. And so when she said to us a few days ago, when she purchased her house and found out that part of the slave wall was in her property, she made it a point to say, yeah, that is the house I want, because that is what I want to protect. So she has given us permission to lay a commemorative plaque at a part of the wall, and we will be doing that in Bodden Town at about 10 o'clock on Wednesday. So we'll put that out in the media for persons to come and join us for that. And again, a big thanks to Miss Dipna and her family for agreeing to join forces with us. And it goes back to what I've said before. It's not just a ministry thing; it's a country thing.
Yes.
So that takes us to Wednesday, and then we get a little 2-day break, and we move over to the Sister Islands because, of course, it's a country celebration. So on Saturday, May the 11th, we'll be having the Heritage Day on the Brack at the Spot Bay Heritage Park. And then we will end on Sunday, May the 12th, with a closing church service at the Ashton Ruddy Center. And then once the church service is finished, we will be distinguishing the Jubilee Beacons, both here in Grand Cayman on the Brack at the same time on Sunday afternoon. And then we all take a break.
Okay. With that, we'll take a break here as well. We'll take a commercial break. When we return, the conversation with Miss Ventisha Connolly and Mr. Alphonso Wright will continue. Don't change that dial. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
She hear clunk and our car stop. I was just about to send her some money, so I send it straight to her JN money transfer card. It cost me less, and perhaps she use the card, pay the garage right away. She'll get discount through the JN Rewards program in Jamaica. This card make things easy. You can even get funds at any multi-link ATM.
JN Money Transfer Card. Fast, affordable, convenient. Tell your loved ones in Jamaica about it. Sign up is free.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers, a compounding story.
I don't think people realize how pain creeps into your life. It has a way of robbing your strength. I really don't like taking prescription medication orally.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. They understand.
When it comes to compounded medication, it's personal. So whenever there's a problem with some medication or treatments that's not working right, then a physician will call me and say, hey, they're having bad side effects from this medication.
Compounding pain cream changed the game. Made special for me. Significant pain relief in the form of a cream. That is a new experience for me.
It's changed his life.
It worked.
Ask your pharmacist or healthcare provider about compounding at West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Call 914-6449.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better. We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you. From cookware to stereos, from power tools to plumbing supplies. Yeah, we got the best goods with the best price and a service to make you smile. Kirk's Home Center, we got a great deal in store for you.
This is Rankine Lashley, and I work in the water and wastewater sector. I am concerned about the vulnerability of our island's sewage systems to climate impacts. Flooding is becoming a bigger concern due to rising sea levels and more intense rainfall events. This can compromise sanitation systems and put the health and safety of our people at risk. So protecting our environment and strengthening critical infrastructure are priorities. To learn more about the climate risks to our islands, visit www.gov.ky/climate change policy.
with Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We're talking about the Emancipation Day events taking place in the Cayman Islands next week. That conversation is taking place with Mr. Alphonso Wright from Celebrate Cayman and Ms. Ventisha Connolly, who is the events manager with the Ministry of, what is it again?
Youth, Sports and Heritage.
Sports and Heritage. Ministry of Youth, Sports and Heritage. We do have a caller. We're going to grab the caller very quickly. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC, and good morning to the listening audience out there in Radio Land. This is Minister Brian. OC, thank you for allowing me a few minutes just to say a few things. Firstly, to congratulate the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Heritage for all the work that they do, particularly in this event, as well as Mr. Alphonso Wright for his commitment from a Celebration Cayman perspective. And this Emancipation Day is a celebration for all of us. I want to say I would love to have been there for that mammoth Mike Tyson and Holyfield fight over marbles, but I'm too young for it. But I want to call in to highlight emancipation. But before I do that, I want to say a special happy birthday to Sam Rose, the Cabinet Secretary, an amazing human being, but even a better professional in respect to his job as Cabinet Minister. Obviously, you've heard the remarks by the representatives for the ministry, how amazing and important this is to our history. But I have to say a special shout-out to our Georgetowners, particularly from the Hogside Bay Day perspective. And I expect to see all Georgetowners from every constituency, not only Central, but from Georgetown North, East, West, South, Central, Red Bay, Prospect. Come on down, because you know this was a part of who we were, particularly after church every Sunday, and learn the history of our emancipation at the same time and go back down in history. Our seniors that are out there, please come on down. We're going to have seating arrangements for you that you can relax. I know you're not as mobile as you used to be, but I can promise you it'll be a good old time to talk about the stories and remember when you used to do it, while at the same time learn so much history that we didn't go over in respect to how we got here as a British overseas territory, the freedoms that incurred over the time of history. But more importantly, I want to take this opportunity to challenge Mr. Craig Merrin. I say it again, challenge Craig Merrin, because for those who had came to the Hogside Bay Day the last time, there was a bit of a challenge to see who can push the other over the dock. It was an all seamen's challenge to see who was the strongest to push the other one over into the water without going over yourself. I'm happy to say that I won the last time, so Craig, I'll give you a chance to take back the title. And this is me publicly challenging you, Craig Merrin, to come and see if you can be strong enough to push me off. So that would be a display for the members to see whether Craig has it still in him to do it again. With that being said, I want to say congratulations to Ventisha, Mr. Alphonso Wright. Keep up the great work. And for the good people of the Cayman Islands, this weekend is going to be very important. And I encourage you to take the time out to come because it's going to be yearly, and to see what this is all about is very important to this country's history. Thank you so much. God bless you all, and have a wonderful day today.
Thank you very much, Minister. Thank you. Well, it is my pleasure now to welcome into the studio Honorable Isaac Rankine, the Minister responsible as well. Minister, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Osin. Good morning to everyone in the Cayman Islands, Grand Cayman, Cayman Bracken, Little Cayman.
And
Thank you.
Your ministry and yourself, you're in the spotlight, for the next few weeks, as well. Highly important events that are taking place. The mere fact that we have put Emancipation Day back in the spotlight, in the forefront, as well, extremely important. Comments from you, sir?
Well, first of all, Lucy, I want to thank the team from the Ministry, which I'm so proud to be a part of, and Protocol for all the work that they've done so far to get us to this point. Certainly we can't forget to mention the previous minister, Mr. Bernie Bush, who started this journey for us, and we are bringing it now to the end for this first return of the emancipation. But OC, this is a journey that I think we need to do now, because it certainly will give those of us who did not know an avenue so that we can know about our history, and this is very important.
Extremely, extremely important. Ms. Ventisha, I think, were you concluded when we went to the commercial break?
Oh, no.
The other events that we want to talk about as well and what's taking place?
Oh, see, I could talk all day.
We can until at least 10.
So following up on different things that are happening within the weekend, within not just this week or this month, but throughout the year, because this is not a small celebration for us. So again, cross collaboration across different ministries and departments. UCCI and the National Museum will be hosting a discussion on Emancipation history. So we'll announce that when that is happening for everyone to join us, and we're hoping to be able to live stream that so those who can't make it to the physical venue can be a part of the conversation. And the Music Association has joined forces with us to have a song competition happening. So we're looking forward to finding out who's the winner of that and airing that song. And that is going to be an annual event happening. We have several events that have happened so far after announcing the national identity characters. So our national dish, our national dance, drink, dessert, and dress. We've had, cooking competitions happening around that national dish. I don't partake in it. I'm probably one of very few Caymanians who don't eat turtle, but I like to see them.
There are some who don't.
But that's more for you, Minister. I mean, if I don't eat it, it means it's more for you. Exactly. So we'll have more cooking competitions throughout the year coming up, not just on the national dish of turtle, but also on our national desserts, because Cabinet has said we can't say one dessert is our national dish, but all heavy cakes. And if anything, I don't eat turtle, but I eat every type of heavy cake. Yam, cassava, breadfruit, pawpaw, cream of wheat. I'm probably missing a few.
Breadfruit.
Potato.
Cocoa.
Butler.
I like the cassava cake if it's stretchy.
Yeah.
And
yes.
not too sweet.
I mean, true Cayman Braca at heart for myself, Miss Ann Walton, and those ladies in my district in Spot Bay. Still cooking on the caboose. So, I look forward to any time I'm going home and there's an event that she's making something. Minister, a few weeks ago, was treated to some Cayman Brac Wilkes made by Miss Walton.
Okay. Now, in the Brac, they make it with pie?
Oh, of course we make it with sea pie. And Minister, do you want to tell the folks in the radio land how many plates of that you eat?
Well, I have no shame when it comes to Caymanian cooking and eating and enjoying Caymanian delicacies.
You gotta at least have one plate to taste it, and then.
And that's exactly what it is. I had to taste it, and then I had another plate with everybody else, and after everybody else left, and I had another plate.
And then you took one home.
I took a whole pan home. So. And then when I got back home to Cayman, I had out of it twice. So I had at least about 5 or 6 plates, and it was it was fantastic. Some of the best wilks I've had.
It's good to hear. And I know you've had some good wilks.
And I've had some good wilks.
So that tradition of cooking, and it's something that we're also looking into in having, teaching people how to make traditional Caymanian food and making it our way, because I've heard from people in our office who make turtle. You don't add browning to turtle. You cook it down in its own
or
oil.
Tomato paste. I've heard people adding tomato paste.
Exactly. So making sure that you learn how to cook it the way it was cooked before, when we only had a few seasonings and a few spices to make it taste good. So we'll be joining forces with the National Museum, and we're reaching out to National Trust because they've done a few of those cooking classes to have that happening throughout the year. Another big thing that will happen is the fact that we're doing a documentary. We've embarked on recording our history and telling it through the eyes of our people. So this year we've started on this documentary centered around our emancipation story. At the gala, we will preview a 10-minute clip of what is going to be an hour-long documentary. We're hoping that sometime during the summer or just after the summer, we will air the full documentary. And of course, we will make that known to the public so that everyone can come out and understand where we're coming from to know where we're going. So we've teamed together with a local company, Sands Limited, so Matt Brown and his team, to record that history and put it together for us. We've interviewed so far persons like Dr. Roy Bodden, Dr. Steve McPhail, Dr. Roy Murray, Miss Lucille Seymour, and others to help tell that story through our eyes. You and I were talking off the air that a lot of our history was told to us and is written for us, not from us. And we want to start making that available to our children, to our future generations, so they understand, again, where we came from to know where they're going.
Okay, we've reached the top of the hour. We have to go to headline news. When we return, the conversation will continue with Minister Honorable Isaac Rankine, Celebrate Cayman, Mr. Alphonso Wright, and the ministry itself, the events manager, Miss Ventisha Connolly. Don't change that dial. Miss Susan, we still have a caller on hold. We're going to grab that caller when we return as well. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The National Roads Authority and the Public Works Department are doing their annual hurricane preparedness exercise today. It will include shuttering up buildings and other necessary activities required to, quote, protect all government buildings and hurricane shelters. Rival protesters have clashed at a pro-Palestinian encampment in Los Angeles hours after police cleared a similar protest in New York. At the University of California, Los Angeles, Vice Chancellor Mary Osaka said, quote, horrific acts of violence occurred at the encampment tonight. She says the university, quote, immediately called law enforcement for mutual aid support. Footage online appears to show masked counter-demonstrators supporting Israel attacking their rivals with sticks and attempting to dismantle barricades. At Columbia University in New York, police arrested protesters nearly 24 hours after they took over an academic building. Universities across the U.S. have been gripped by protests over the war in Gaza as students demand a boycott of companies and individuals with ties to Israel. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
HSA's Urgent Care Clinic is now open 7 days per week to serve you better. Visit our dedicated team at Urgent Care Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and weekends and public holidays, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. No appointment necessary. If you are experiencing non-life-threatening symptoms and conditions such as the cold and flu, sprains and cuts, earaches, nausea and vomiting, visit Urgent Care's walk-in clinic at the main entrance of the Georgetown Hospital, now open every day. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
With Orrett Connor.
Yep. Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We're talking about Emancipation Day events taking place in the Cayman Islands. We do have a caller. Let's grab the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, O.C.
Good morning. Good morning. How art thou?
That was good. And good morning to the honorable member there and to
Minister.
My Minister, yeah,
Yeah,
my cousin.
not member.
My cousin. That's my cousin. And Alphonso is my cousin.
Yeah.
And I'm almost convinced that Ventisha is my cousin. She's a Connolly.
Yeah, and
I
if you
came
go
off
far back, you may find that I'm your cousin as well.
Right. Well, yeah, because my grandfather was a Connor, right?
Mhm.
And my great was John Jarvis Connolly, 1796. So me and Ventisha could be like great grand cousins or something like that. You know? So but I try to get on before your guests arrive, but it seemed like Alphonso sleeps at the station. I couldn't get on before he get there. And Ventisha, I heard you say that because you don't eat turtle, that more for the minister. We used to have that saying back in the day with Adventists. The more Adventist people we get, more conch wilks and turtle for us. Yeah.
Well, Graham, I'll take the conch and I'll take the wilks. You can have turtle.
Okay. I'm not too much a turtle guy. I'm a more wilk guy. I like wilks. Yeah. Okay. That's great. What you guys are doing, and from the get-go, you, Alphonso, been very instrumental in our history and keeping it alive. But there's one thing after this Emancipation celebration, get through it, I would like to see is that we put more emphasis on the seamen. I would like that my idea is that property that where the tower was located, the
Tower building.
I think we should turn that into a seaman's park in the way of putting a stage with music, especially days that cruise ships are in, local band. We build like a small, like a theater. If anybody been to the Panama Canal, they have a theater where they have Morgan Freeman talking through documentary, like Ventisha mentioned. That documentary could be done into like a movie form with still pictures and moving whatever, and have somebody talk you through the whole entire thing. And like I said, we have like a little theater built there also that you the tourists can enter for a fee, and kids from school on special days can go there and sit in the theater and listen to the history. But the documentary, I think, long before it's being publicized, should be viewed by a lot of different people within the different communities to make sure that we include everything and the right thing. Like Ventisha said, most of our history didn't came from us; it was just told to us. So to make sure that we don't turn out like the Bob Marley movie where they didn't put this, they didn't put that, and I don't support it. So I would like to see something like that done, but approved by the different districts, people from within the districts. When I say approve, I mean if there's things that have to be added that are not there, then it can be documented into the documentary before it's being publicized.
Well, Graham, thanks for that. One thing, I don't know if you heard me say, but this is not just a one and done documentary. This is an ongoing project, at least for the next 10 years with the ministry. And so the first capturing of it, we know is not going to tell everything. But subsequently in the years to come, we're going to capture every bit of that, what you're saying, go into each district and get how it was, seen and done in each district, how people feel since the emancipation. I learned through all of the research that we've been doing and getting history from Alphonso that once emancipation was given, a lot of the slaves moved from the Bordentown, Georgetown area to East End and North Side because there was land there. So there's that element of it that we still are going to be telling in years to come and getting that information. So I hear you. It is on our radar, and we look forward to capturing all of that as we move.
Can I put in just to continue on the seaman thing? I think what would be really nice within that whole development of our building area, we could make these, they use metal plaques, like you see station, they posted different places because of the weather, and we could place like pictures of ships, national berg ships, and different ships that the Cayman people went on there, and then put the names of the various seamen that sail on that particular vessel, and and a little history like that. I think that would be there to stay for a very long time.
And this is where Sorry, go ahead.
Which one of the ships your name would be on?
Mine would be on the Frisia, or Universe. I think she was called the Universe Challenger. Universe Challenger before she became the Frisia oil tanker. Only 9 months. But I was going to say that this is where you would include the seafarers, because if you go into their hall there's so much, and a lot of that could be replicated and put there.
That's what I'm saying.
But we want to really concentrate more on emancipation. We know you got great ideas, and we'll probably have you as a panelist when we get down that road for talking about all the other ventures that will take place.
But also, just before you finish off on that,
sure.
I hear what Mr. Lord Graham is saying, but certainly we also can't forget, and we need to be able to tell the story from the eyes of the women who stayed and took care of the families in this country. We need to tell that story as well too.
Yep.
Sure. I do support the emancipation. I do, because I know a lot of history. I know when the free slaves migrated, half of the population migrated, especially to the Bay Islands and the Honduras area, because that was British at the time. But a lot of us migrated, not the fact that it was brutal slavery that we was under. It was just that after the emancipation, a lot of the people had no land. And because the Connollys and the Rankines and the Dixon migrated to East End, and they were all what we call land thieves, they grab up all the land, especially them Connollys. Ventisha people, they grab up all the land,
Well, Graham, it was there, so free picking.
So there was a lot of people were forced to go to look for living and land other places. But to say that, I wanted to say that we were more like, I think, like more like servants than slaves, because there were almost an equal amount of slavery to match the amount of slave owners. So we wasn't in brutal slavery, because I don't think I would be picking no cotton. I can tell you that right now. Master tell me pick cotton, he will have to find someone else, because I wasn't picking no cotton.
Okay, Lord Graham, I want to thank you. Thank you very much for that. We're going to go to a commercial break. When we return, we have 2 questions. One person wanted us to repeat exactly where the turtle will be released. And we also have one listener who was asking when we... Oh, let me find this. Sorry. I'll give the other question when we return. Let's take the commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
There you go, sir. Thanks for choosing JN Money Transfer.
Boy, thanks to JN Money Transfer, I can stay right here in Cayman and pay mama bills back home in Jamaica. Her water, light, phone, and other bills never late. Every month I pay everything in one place.
Make payments to over 30 companies in Jamaica through JN Money Transfer. Fast, affordable, convenient. Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
You know who this is? That same old girl that went to Hollywood and Panama? Well, guess what? The fun ain't done yet, because this year, I'm going to country concerts in Denver. I got kick up my heels in Times Square, and I got find my way to Barbados. I got keep living the dream with Cayman Airways. We so blessed to have them. I tell you what though, this old girl's feeling younger than ever.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering international non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, Kingston, Mobay, La Ceiba, and Havana, plus Barbados. Enjoy free rum punch, free in-flight entertainment, free seat selection, and free meals on select flights. Call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
Hey Cayman, this is Pastor Alsony Banks. I want to invite you to come out and join us on Saturday, May 18th, 2024 for March for Jesus. I remember those events from years past, and I'm so happy we're doing them again. So join us on Saturday, May 18th, March for Jesus, celebrating our Lord Jesus Christ.
For more information, visit Christian.ky and click on the March for Jesus tab.
Attention West Bay residents. The Department of Environmental Health West Bay Bulk Waste Collection will take place between May 6th to 11th. This bulk waste collection will replace the traditional year-end collection. Household appliances, furniture, and other items too large to be handled by the weekly DEH collection crews should be placed by the roadside where it is easily accessible to the DEH collection crews. Metals and vegetation should also be separated from other bulk items. Do not obstruct the roadway or storm drains or place tires, construction and demolition waste, hazardous materials, or electronics. For more information on the West Bay bulk waste collection, from May 6th to 11th, please contact DEH's Solid Waste Management Section at 949-6696.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. My pleasure to have in the studio with me Minister Isaac Rankine, Mr. Alphonso Wright, and Ms. Ventisha Connolly. So the other question that we had, the person and talking about Caymanian history, the person says, are there any plans to update Creighton's book on the history of the Cayman Islands? They say, I asked this because my great-great-grandfather, Ebert Jackson's picture is there as an unidentified person. How could this have occurred? Yeah, well, that happens when someone else writes your history for you. And to a certain extent, we can understand. I'm not sure, Alphonso, Creighton's book that was published when. And the reason I ask that is because my comment would be, those days we either had Caymanian scholars who were seen as radicals coming back from university, who had the ability and the capability to do research and to write part of our history, but those in power at the time sidelined them to a certain extent, saying they were educated fools and everything else. So we relied on others to write our history. That is why now we see efforts being made to change that around. And we have some really good researchers. What's Shamari Scott's sister, and I by no means have any permission to mention anyone, but we have so many people out there who can do research, who we can pay a decent salary to go out there and let's get our history right. Because what they say, you need to know where you are coming from in order for you to know where you're going. But if where you're coming from, if that is not the right history, if that's not the right those are not the right facts, then you're heading somewhere else. That destination that you're headed may not be the same one if you were to research and write your history as well, Miss Ventisha.
Yeah, OC, I fully agree with that statement. And I've said it multiple times, even just this morning. Like you just said, if we don't tell our history through our eyes, we'll never know exactly how it was. And that's what we aim to do with this celebration and with our documentary in the ministry, is to tell that from the eyes of Caymanians. So,
Orrett, if I can jump in.
Sure. I was going to just say you have a treasure trove of information, over there, and we know that you did go, over to the archives in Jamaica. That was to do research and other things, but you've bumped into so much.
I've also did the archives in the UK as well. But I was kind of stumped when you asked a question about Creighton and Founded Upon the Seas, and I did believe that it was connected to the quincentennial celebrations. And sure enough, it was published in January of 2003.
Oh wow! So we were.
But it's a good question as to how and when we do another issue of Founded Upon the Seas. Now, it is a great book, and for the most part, it captures who we are, what we did accurately. But there are a few glaring omissions, and I'll put my hand up as the first person who will volunteer to assist in trying to get some of the things done right. But I want to say that Creighton had references, and he communicated and was assisted by a lot of learned Caymanian people. Okay. They are quite. There's a long list of local people who assisted him. But in these things, I don't care how good you are or how hard you try. There are going to be one or two anomalies. One of the glaring anomalies that I always speak about was that the book says that in spite of women gaining the right to vote in 1958, the first opportunity that they had to contest elections, which would have been 1959, that no women contested the election. That was incorrect. We had 4 women contested the election, 2 from Bartontown, 1 from Georgetown, 1 from West Bay. Okay. So that's a glaring omission for me. And the records were right there in the archives. But like I say, these things happen. So yes, we do need a revision of that book. But let's not discard it. It has a lot of good things in there.
Yes.
Yeah. I wanted to just make reference to something that Ventisha said earlier, where she was talking about the 62-pound turtle, the 60 drones. There's another very important 60 in that I'll just mention the name Long Celia right now, who I think is one of our first female advocates, a woman who received 50 lashes on her bare body in Georgetown for just asking questions about when she was going to be free, when she was going to have her freedom. And back in those days, I think the maximum lashes that were handed out were something like 39 or 40. She received 50. And I think that she is somebody that we need to celebrate as well. But I want to say that based on the slave records that we have, when slavery was abolished in 1835, Long Celia was still listed as property of Thomas Knowles Eden. She was listed as Thomas Knowles Eden in 1820 when she was sentenced and received those lashes. And it says that she was 60 years old. Wow. So she would have been, I guess, 45 at the time of her lashing. But if it hasn't grabbed you yet, Ventisha, it's another 60. And just maybe that turtle can be symbolic, or one of the first things we do. We don't need to call it Long Celia, but it could be somehow symbolic in her eventual freedom.
Yes. And to that, Alphonso, I will say that the story of Long Celia is one that we are also embarking on. Nasaria has a poignant poem.
And that's Nasaria Suku.
Yes, Nasaria Suku, Shillette. That we are, with permission, we're going to republish and have as a poster that we're going to give out over the Emancipation Day celebrations. But there's a bigger story to tell about Long Celia. And so we're also embarking on that with the Department of Communications and the Cabinet Secretary's office to tell that story also in documentary form. And again, it speaks to this building of our history that we need to do. So one of the things we've sat and we've discussed for future celebrations is commemorating the fact that Long Celia should be our first national hero. If it wasn't for her, a lot of us wouldn't be in the position that we are now as women. I mean, if you look at where Cayman is now, we have a female premier, we have a female governor, we have a female chief justice. I would say 60% of our chief officers in government building are female. A lot of our private businesses have prominent females in those positions. And it's because of that first step. Again, knowing where we came from and what role she played as Long Celia and advocating for freedom gives us now the freedom that we have today. So again, thank you for bringing up that, Alphonso, but it is a part of the story that we have to record and we have to tell, and we intend to do so also. I will say, Minister has thrown it out there, and thankfully he has said it's a long-term goal and not a short-term one. We want to have a statue, just like how we have in Hero Square of our national heroes. We want to have something that commemorates Long Celia. So we have put it out there, and we'll be putting out for the commissioning of a statue for Long Celia to be done, and at a subsequent Emancipation Day, whether it's 2025 or 2026, have an unveiling and do that for Long Celia, because she is a significant part of our emancipation story.
Now, do we believe that between the archives, Celebrate Cayman, the ministry, that we have all of the resources that we need to do the research? I'm just thinking about commissioning one Caymanian individual who, is steeped in the technique of research. Someone with a master's, a PhD in archaeology, history, whatever, that we can put this on their shoulder to do this and nothing else. Something that could be possibly funded by the ministry. Anything? Any comments on that, Minister?
Well, certainly, I don't know of anyone in the Cayman who fits that description you just made there, but certainly if we did, I would go all out to employ that person to ensure, but through the office of the Deputy Governor, to ensure that we have somebody sitting like that to record our history accurately. Because
in this particular case, I'm thinking just Long Celia one, because that is the question mark. That's the one, the missing link to all of this, and that is really where this is to the story to a certain extent starts. So so important for us to get that.
You're right, OC. But we even looking more long term.
Sure.
For the rest of our history, because history told accurate is our history, whether we like it or whether we don't like it. But it's our history.
Yep.
I know that some people was very apprehensive about Emancipation Day, but what we're celebrating is freedom. We're not going to be going down the road of what emancipation isn't for us. For us, it's celebrating our freedom, where we came from and where we are now, and the opportunities we've had along that journey.
And some people find it uncomfortable to discuss it. We have always been reluctant in the Cayman Islands to discuss slavery. In my younger days, people say, we really didn't have slavery in the Cayman Islands because we didn't have plantations per se. Those are the sorts of things that you heard, and it's uncomfortable for some. And I said I wouldn't say this on radio, but I'm going to say it to a certain extent, that here in Cayman, we're unique to the extent that you see in other jurisdictions where the plantation owners and the slave owners were somewhere else, located in the United Kingdom and in the European countries. Whereas in Cayman, it appears, based on the history and what we have, that the slave owners were right here. So we today, while we celebrate Emancipation Day, while we talk about slavery, we are working, interacting, probably sometimes married to those individuals who are the descendants of slave owners in the Cayman Islands. So again, it is a unique situation for us here. So we shouldn't feel uncomfortable discussing slavery, the effects of slavery, and maybe at some point in time we're in a position to celebrate how we have been able to rebound from the effects of slavery and now live in a country where we are all united, where we are all intertwined and intermixed as well. With that, we'll take a commercial break. Do we have a caller on hold too, Ms. Susan? We have one caller on hold. With your permission, we'll take that caller when we return. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
You know who this is? That same old girl that went to Hollywood and Panama? Well, guess what? The fun ain't done yet. Because this year, I'm going to country concerts in Denver. I got kick up my heels in Times Square. And I got find my way to Barbados. I got keep living the dream with Cayman Airways. We so blessed to have them. I tell you what though, this old girl's feeling younger than ever.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering international non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, Kingston, Mobay, La Ceiba, and Havana, plus Barbados. Enjoy free rum punch, free in-flight entertainment, free seat selection, and free meals on select flights. Call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
This Mother's Day, Digicel wants to take you to brunch. We're giving away brunch vouchers for you and mom to enjoy a delightful feast together. Winning is easy. Simply activate the postpaid Supreme plan or the 30-day Prime Max plan, and you could be our lucky winner. Don't let the chance to treat mom to a special day out slip away. Visit your nearest Digicel store today or hop onto the My Digicel app for your shot at winning. Make this Mother's Day a memorable one with Digicel.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the People's Station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
The Spring Labor Force Survey and Quality of Life Survey conducted by the Economics and Statistics Office is currently underway. The Labor Force Survey seeks to collect data on employed and unemployed persons in the Cayman Islands, as well as those who are not in the labor force. The Quality of Life Survey seeks to gather information on life satisfaction, sense of well-being, financial security, economic outlook, and perceived health. Trained interviewers with ESO ID cards will visit randomly selected households. The interviews are confidential in accordance with the Statistics Act. No individual data will be published or disclosed. Survey data are exempt from Freedom of Information requests. For more details, please call the ESO hotline at 516-3329.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, Minister Isaac Rankine, Mr. Alphonso Wright, and Miss Ventisha Connolly. Miss Ventisha has to leave us because she has to go and she has other commitments. She has to set up for the sale of all of the paraphernalia that will be available, and I'm made to understand that things are going like hotcakes as well. So
yes, they are.
So the two callers, we will take the callers. We asking them to please bear with us, be patient with us.
So, OC, thanks for having me on. Just before I go, I just want to remind folks of the events that are happening starting on Friday, May the 3rd with 345 Day. It's a dress down day. Wear your Caymanian Pride colors. If you need one, come out to the government building between 10 and 5 today and tomorrow to purchase a shirt to wear, purchase some paraphernalia. We've got tote bags, hats, bucket caps, umbrellas, polo shirts, and water bottles. Come on out, bring cash because that's all we take, and pick up some stuff. So that's today, and then on Friday, the 3rd of May, we'll have our dress down day. There'll be a photo on the steps of the government building at 9:15. So come on, join us out there for that. And I know that a lot of schools are doing a dress down day, so we're looking forward to getting those photos from the school to publish. And then on Saturday, May the 4th, we have our celebration gala at Pedro St. James. It is by invite only. But it will be live streamed on CIG TV, so please tune in to watch that. On Sunday, May the 5th, our opening church service at Elmsley Memorial at 4 p.m. We invite the public to come and join us for that. And then the big day on Monday, May the 6th, Hogstye Bay Day, our Emancipation Heritage Day, out in town in Hogstye Bay. Join us from 1 o'clock until 8. There's going to be food. There's going to be activities, entertainment on the stage, displays from each of our districts, the water activities. I'm probably going to put on a little swimsuit there and jump in the water. Maybe I'll be the one to push Minister Brian in the water. He challenged Craig, but I think I might take him on that one. So Monday, May the 6th from 1 to 8, join us for Hogstye Bay Day in Georgetown. And then on Tuesday, May the 7th, we will be releasing our long... See now, Alphonse, you got that in my head. We will be releasing our long Celia turtle, our 62-pound turtle, from Governor's Beach at between 9 and 10. So come and join us for that. On Wednesday, the 8th, we will be in Bodden Town at the Slave Wall to lay a plaque and commemorate the fact that we still have portions of a slave wall there. And everything that I'm talking about, people can go to our Facebook page. They can go to our Instagram page. There's also the Where We From 345 Heritage campaign that we're doing. All of this information is published on those pages, or they can call the ministry for more information. We wrap our celebrations in the Sister Islands on Saturday and Sunday. Saturday with the Heritage Day in Spot Bay at the Spot Bay Heritage Park. And we will be having fireworks throughout all of this. And then Sunday, May the 11th, Sunday, May the 12th, we will be closing with a church service on the Brack. So we invite everyone to come out and join us at the events that are happening. Again, follow us on social medias for information. We've got information also on billboards throughout the islands. We invite everyone to come out and celebrate our freedom.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Ventisha.
Thank you for having me.
We know you're extremely busy. Ms. Alphonso, you wanted to get something in before we grab the callers.
Well, we were talking about people who believe that slavery didn't exist. And there's a lot of documentation in Cayman that proves without a doubt that slavery did exist. While I agree that it wasn't the same sort of confrontational relationship that some of the other Caribbean countries were exposed to. Nevertheless, if I can just read here from the proclamation that was read by Captain Park on behalf of Lord Sligo, and it came ashore. I'll just read a small portion of it. It says, whereas the situation of the inhabitants of the Grand Caymanas, having engaged the particular attention of His Majesty's government, more especially as to the effect and recent changes under the laws of the Imperial Parliament, have upon the structure of society in those islands belonging to Great Britain, where slavery formerly existed. Period. Okay, so why would they come here to proclaim and to declare all slaves free if there wasn't slavery here in the Cayman Islands?
Great point. Okay, let's grab something else you want to?
No,
okay, let's grab the two callers. We have two callers. First caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, Stuart. Good morning to the minister. And you're on a guest here.
Morning.
Good morning.
Very interesting project you're on there and very observing. I'd just like to say a couple of things. Long Sealer belonged to one of my great uncles, Thomas Noah's Eden. And the old man himself, the old original William Eden, had only two sons, one son from each marriage. Thomas was the son from the second marriage. He also had a son by the name of Thomas. But I believe Long Sealer, I'm pretty sure, belonged to the father, Thomas Noah. And his other son, of course, William, was also William Eden, one of his grandsons of the old man. He was one of the 10 men in the very first elections. The names are all there. And his son from his first marriage was one of the magistrates. As you all know, it was a two-part bicameral Westminster system also. So one was 31 years old at the time, the grandson, and the other one of the elections. And the other one was in his 60s. She was tried in the dining room, which was the courthouse there, and by Judge Wright himself, who was one of the persons who helped to write that letter to the Governor Belmore, Sligo's predecessor, I guess you could call it, both of them from Ireland. Sligo was from Sligo, Ireland. And Governor Sligo came here on the Fortet, Mr. Wright, the biggest battleship that was in Kingston Harbour. He spent a day here.
The Serpent was a support ship?
Captain Pack came on the Serpent.
Okay,
she was
all right.
a sloop, which is very shallow draft. They're mostly used by the pirates, and the British used to use them to a small vessels. They're much smaller than a frigate, but with shallow draft. That's why the pirates use them a lot, hugging coastline. There's a turtling thing. Yeah, it's unfortunate with very unfortunate and very sad with Long Sealer. It's been sort of covered up and all that, but a very unfortunate and very sad thing that Drayton, who was one of the writers of that letter, would turn around and try her and give her 50 lashes, and that Thomas Knowles could have stopped that. And he just said, well, don't bother with it. I'll just punish her by, whatever means. But he didn't do that. That's obvious in history. He did not. We don't have it anywhere in our family records. And with the turtling thing, there's a lot of the industry history that I could provide you all with that no one knew about. It was a big, big business in the 30s, 40s, and from the 20s and before that too. My father shipped over 20,000 turtles that he had butchered from 1936, late 36, into 37, really, 37, 38, to England and continental Europe. It was a big business. He took many, many Caymanians over there with him to Jamaica to do this for the marine family. And that's what he was doing in business. That's why he went there, to do that. And he started building boats for them there because he was a licensed shipwright and licensed captain too. And he built helped to build many famous schooners here, the most famous, the Goldfield, his name is on it, but there's no mention about my father really, nor history. I could write a book about him on many things. So when we say there's a lot missing in our history, we care and choose to get it out. We can get it out if we like. My father's mother was also the daughter of 2 slaves, and so we all mixed up in this together, an awful, cruel, brutal time, but it did exist, and it's no use denying it, as
that's
you
right.
were saying a while ago.
Yeah, Mr. Holston, I wonder if I could just ask you a question, though, about Celia. Is there anything else in your family records about what happened to her after emancipation?
No, I think that I had heard mention of it from family members long ago, but then this is a long time ago, over 60 years, that they had banished her, I believe, to Corn Island, Nicaragua, or somewhere there, I think, with her. But she had children and all that too.
She did.
Oh. So
Well, that's important now.
Know. After the lashing, which would have been an awful thing if we tried to contemplate that. And but I don't know of her. I could try to dig deeper into some of the records there.
Would you know how many children she had in any of the names or anything?
I don't know, but I think of her it was 4 or 5 children or something. But you might be able to find out a little bit more than I have.
Well, I have just hit dead ends when I go at stuff along Celia. I can't find out any additional information out there.
That's right. The family itself didn't keep much record on slaves. There are things that I could tell, but I don't want to say it on the radio and all that, of the effects of all this and what happened down the line. It might create animosity amongst family members now and descendants of different families all over. But I know I don't want to say it, but I can, talk about it in private.
Well, maybe we can arrange that.
Yeah.
With Celebrate Cayman. Mr. Alphonso, you know how to get in touch with.
I don't have a number for him, but I'm sure I can find him.
We'll find out how to reach you.
Public knowledge.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Well, if you don't mind, we'll be in touch.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. We do have another caller on hold, but we're going to take a commercial break first. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
So much happening so fast, too much. It is hard for me to follow my health care instructions. The private counseling with West Bay Pharmacy literally saved my life.
At West Bay Pharmacy, we know how complex medications can be. Our pharmacists are delighted to offer you personalized one-on-one healthcare counseling, free medication review, therapeutic callbacks, and we will liaise with your physician to ensure you receive the best in quality medical care.
Quality of life has a whole new meaning with the right pharmacy to support you. Thank you, West Bay Pharmacy.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner. Now you can WhatsApp your West Bay Pharmacy prescriptions to 516-0777.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our Custom Closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
This Mother's Day, Digicel wants to take you to brunch. We're giving away brunch vouchers for you and Mom to enjoy a delightful feast together. Winning is easy. Simply activate the postpaid Supreme plan or the 30-day Prime Max plan, and you could be our lucky winner. Don't let the chance to treat Mom to a special day out slip away. Visit your nearest Digicel store today or hop onto the My Digicel app for your shot at winning. Make this Mother's Day a memorable one with Digicel.
Hey, Cayman, this is Pastor Alphonso Banks. I want to invite you to come out and join us on Saturday, May 18th, 2024 for March for Jesus. I remember those events from years past, and I'm so happy we're doing them again. So join us on Saturday, May 18th, March for Jesus, celebrating our Lord Jesus Christ.
For more information, visit christian.ky and click on the March for Jesus tab.
Cayman, get ready for an adrenaline-fueled event like no other. Round 2 of the 2024 C1 National Tour, Sunday, May 5th at South Sound Dock. Watch as Cayman's top riders push their jet skis to the limits. JJ McLean, Klein Glidden, Brandon Elliott, and so many others. Family-friendly atmosphere, free admission, food trucks, and non-stop entertainment. Feel the vibe and ride the wave with the Cayman Islands Watercraft Association. Round 2 of the 2024 C1 National Tour, Sunday, May 5th, South Sound Dock, starting at 11 a.m. Proudly sponsored by Car City, Cayman Islands Coast Guard, Cayman Islands Fire Service, Pepsi, Fast Signs, J&M Equipment, Ministry of Youth, Sports and Heritage, Party Animals, Seabreeze Charters and Jet Ski Rentals, Verdant Isle Farms, Health City Cayman Islands, National Logistics, Onshore IT, Ministry of Tourism and Ports, Radio Cayman, and Breeze FM.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We only have about 10 minutes left, running out of time and so much to talk about. I don't want to miss this, though. Miss Vivian Smith, who's 101 years young. Happy birthday greetings going to her from Sue, Andy, Colin, Marcia, Kendra, and the rest of the family. Also, Dr. Curtis Barnett advises us that he said you can pass this information on to our listeners and our panel. They will find my 6-stanza poem on Longcelia on pages 167 and 168 of his book, Mid-Millennial Isles, published in 2003 by Dr. Curtis Barnett. So he has done a stanza on Longcelia there.
I wonder if he can tell us where to find the book. Where to purchase the book.
Okay, I'm sure he's listening and he can pass that information on to me so that we can announce that as well. We have one caller left. We're going to ask the caller to please be as brief as possible because we need to have some time for some closing comments for our minister as well. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Morning. Great discussion this morning. I'll be brief.
Good morning. Thank you.
I know, see, your suggestion about getting somebody, that's trained in all of this business to, permanently be on this whole approach. But I would suggest one thing before whoever they bring in with that person, that they give him him or her a 6 to 9 month tutorial with Dr. Macfield, both Macfields, Mr. Roy Borden, Gilbert McLean, Captain Paul, Captain Owen.
Locks of Banks.
Well, if I and acquaint them with what is still between a lot of people's ears. And if it's not gathered here pretty soon, I'd say within the next 24 months, it'll line dust 6 feet down still between the ears. And there's a lot of stuff that's already been recorded that's sitting, dusting away on quarter-inch tape that needs to be digitalized. And it's a whole big project that needs to be coagulated. And I was encouraged by what the minister said, but my thoughts went back. I heard that same thing probably 10 years, 15 years ago in that same very studio. I've heard it on public forums, and here we sit today still talking.
Zaki, you're being challenged publicly.
Yeah,
Mr. Banks, there's also Miss Anita E. Banks out there who has a wealth of information and very able that we can lean on as well. There are a few Caymanians.
And Dr. Curtis Barnett, who
there may not be any one individual that has all the qualifications that we're looking for, but there are a few that would be better than one person.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Loxley. Minister, we're going to give you the mic and you can have it for the rest of the show.
Just to piggyback a bit on what Mr. Loxley said just now, and there's an old cliche that says that when an elder person dies, we lose a book of knowledge from our library. Something along that line that says, and if we don't start to collect that information now, so that we can have it recorded accurately, accurate, so that we know where we're going, we just gonna make a mess of it. But again, just a break in there. I also want to wish a very happy birthday to one of the excellent staff members in the ministry, Miss Melissa Worms.
Okay.
She has celebrating a birthday today, and just want to wish a happy birthday from all of us here in the ministry, Mel. The journey we started on last year, when after Cabinet approved the Emancipation Day holiday, again, there was some apprehension. We said that we know why we wanted to do it, celebrate freedom, and we want to ensure that people understands what we are celebrating. We're not going to be going down a certain path like some of the other islands, because, again, Cayman is unique in how we got to emancipation. The stories there, some people don't want to hear it, but it is part of our history, and we must acknowledge that and celebrate the freedom we've gained from that. There's still lots of work to be done, we'll see. Still lots of work to be done, still lots of research. Thank God the government has Alphonso, who's been doing a lot of this stuff. Yes. He's traveled to Jamaica, he's traveled to UK. Where else as well, Alphonso?
Local archives.
And he's been doing some digging, because whenever I need any information, I reach out to him. Anything historical, I reach out to Alphonso, because he's a wealth of information as well.
Yeah, I envy him to a certain extent.
But we still have a lot of work to do, and we must get on with doing the work to tell our story. Don't let anyone else begin to tell a story about us. We need to tell the story about ourselves.
When Minister just spoke about when an elder dies, that part of history that goes with them. And it is so true. It's a sad fact, but it is a fact nevertheless. And it was brought home to me. I got hit with a ton of bricks at the passing of Mr. Bernard Watler. Yeah. He was my go-to person. I mean, the days that I would just pick up the phone and call Mr. Bernard, and he was always sometimes he would say to you, I ain't not got no time to talk to the phone. Come see me. And he always encouraged people to visit him. And I took that for granted, that I would always have access to him. And he was truly one of our great historians. There were few things that you could ask Mr. Bernard. If he couldn't help you directly, he could guide you as to where you could go to get the information. But he had so much stuff in his head. And I think that's what we're trying to say, that we need to have a lot of these things on record somewhere and talk to our older elderly people who have the knowledge and get those things recorded. We really don't have a lot of time, because we keep saying it, but we're not doing it, and they keep passing, they keep dying. And that's how life works. So, Minister, if you're willing, if you need help, I think we all in this together. We want to get this done.
Yes.
Well, I can give you my word that I am willing, as long as I'm able, and I'm sure I can say on behalf of the ministry that we are ready. We stand ready to assist in whatever way we can to preserve and record our history. But just one simple little fact. We know that the Cayman quadrille is so unique, different from all the other quadrilles around the Caribbean. But yet still, because we've not done a good job of recording it and ensuring that we know the proper steps, we've allowed other cultural influences come in, and it's diluted what the original form of
they've
hijacked
it, yes, yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily say hijack. I think people comes in with who are being very creative, and I understand that as well to the artists, but we need to know what our original form of quadrille is. I will put my hand up and say that I don't know how to dance it, because when my father gave me the opportunity to teach me, I thought it was just some old people dance, and it's one of my regrets sitting here at this Mike today that I did not take the time and the opportunity to learn how to dance the original form of quadrille. Getting there though, OC.
Good to know.
But
good
there's
to
a
know.
young man that works at the museum, Brian Watler. Fantastic, because my father found an avenue to pass on that knowledge. I guess he just passed it back on to me now.
Now, Brian's name keeps resonating all the time, and I hope that we have good plans for Brian Watler, down the line. And it is quite obvious that we're utilizing, all of his skills and stuff like that. But he seems to be a promising
he's a
young
gem.
man.
He's a gem.
Absolutely.
He's a gem.
Yeah. Absolute
He's
gem.
a gem.
And Alphonso, you talking about Mr. Bernard, and I'll try to tell this quickly, but there was a particular family in Cayman. You probably heard this story already also. And of course, her husband, Mr. Royal, was in charge of the warehouse. And I think Kwahu used to work with him. And this particular family was, Emancipation. They went 1st of August, and they wanted stuff out of the warehouse. And called Mr. Royal and said, sent Kwahu to find out what time they were going to open the warehouse. And Miss Ina sent back the message, and this is what Mr. Bernard tells us, sent back the message and say, tell him today is using the N word, N day, and Royal is celebrating, and he needs to go and celebrate also. And the reason for telling him that he needed to celebrate also was because his lineage was half black, half African as well. That story sticks out. I couldn't tell it verbatim, not on radio, but
I don't know the story.
Extremely interesting.
Yeah. It's one of Mr. Bernard's classics.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, just before you finish, I just want to quickly. I know putting something of this magnitude together is not one person. It's a multitude of persons, Alphonso, the protocol office, the ministry, but certainly I want to say thank you to my cabinet colleagues, my caucus colleagues, the protocol office, and last but by no means least, that wonderful team that I work with in the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Heritage. I really want to say thanks to them for getting us as far as to be able to put on this to bring to light some of our history.
And you have my only staff member inundated with work, Krista Watler, I can't get anything out of her because she is buried in emancipation work.
I apologize for that, but we're going to tell the story.
No need to apologize. She's very good at what she does.
She is.
I'm
glad, a fantastic.
I'm glad
person.
that she's there to help. She's enjoying it. But I want to give her my profound thanks as well for her dedication and the work she's doing with Emancipation.
It's good to see that cross-ministerial collaboration taking place, as well. Well, gentlemen, I want to thank both of you. I'm sure that our listening audience would love to go on, but we will have more time to talk, about these things as well. I want to thank all of my listening audience. I want to remind you that we are our brothers and our sisters keepers. There's always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are, and I ask you to extend a helping hand to them. If you can't do that, then I suggest you donate to a worthy charity, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want. And I'll add this morning, if you know something about this history of Long Celia, or you know a family member who may know something, please don't keep it to yourself. Don't hold it to yourself. Share it with Mr. Alphonso, because that is a very, very important part of our history, and we want to get that. We need to get that right. Join Sterling, Dwayne Ebanks at 12:15 for Talk Today, and as usual, we ask the good Lord to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury, and JN Money. From abroad to yard. Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And now, Barbados. And Digicel, Cayman's bigger, better network. And March for Jesus Jesus. 18th of May, visit christian.ky for more information.
We are Radio Cayman, covering Cayman Wright, Little Cayman, and Grand Cayman.